Thrash Keegan playlist done 20 diesel. So welcome back to the playlist for the 20 diesel. I think the last job that was done on this, or one of the last jobs at least, was a dynamo. And you'll remember that I stripped down this genuine Lucas dynamo and put in new brushes, greased up everything, cleaned up the commutator and all of that, and was having a play around with pulleys and stuff like that. Well, this was brought to a local agricultural show. It would have been probably about a 10-mile trip, and we noticed, when my father was driving it, we noticed that the ammeters all of a sudden stopped showing a charge. So when I got there, I put my hand on the dynamo and it was very hot. So I thought, Jesus, that doesn't sound great. But I managed to get another one brought up because someone was still here at home and they were making their way there. So we brought up this one, we put it on. And then I drove this tractor back, and when I got home I put my hand on that, it was still charging, but it nearly burnt the hand off me and it stayed hot for a long time. So then I realised, and I remember I was struggling with this problem for a while. So I suppose the best thing to do is bring it up here near the door when we have a bit of natural light, and bring it up here and we'll show you what I've noticed. And it is a problem that I should have noticed it a long time ago. So we'll bring it up, give it a cold start, and drop the transfer box on the timber. This is a fill in it. What was found. Why was there heat going in there? This fan belt, I took off the fan belt that was on this tractor because it was too long, and like this one, it was out to the end of the adjuster and it still wasn't tight enough. And I'm after finding out also it's too thin, so it's slipping because it's too thin. It's heating up this pulley, it's heating up the armature going down. And yeah, that's what's happening. Now I'm hoping the other one just simply got a bit hot, the bearing swallowed a bit, and it just kind of stopped turning as quick. I don't know, that's what I'm hoping. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to take off the dynamo, take off the pulley, swap it all on to the other one, put back on the old one, put on the new fan belt, and we'll see then. The new fan belt's 17 mil, this is coming in about 14, so it's going down there too far and it's slipping. So this is adjusted out as far as it'll go, and it's still, as you can see. So that's what we'll do. We'll get that whipped off. It's only a few half-inch, as you've probably seen if you're following the videos. It's only a few half-inch nuts and bolts, and we'll get the old one put back on because I want to try and keep the original one on it. Nice to have a spare one, that is true, as I found out the other day. But at the same time, there's not a whole lot wrong with this tractor anymore, so as you've probably noticed, I'm trying to get the finer details sorted and the dynamo. Definitely one of them finer details I'm trying to sort, because these ones, when they stop working, it's the Buska Brewsker is the only place for them. It's the bin. So the Lucas ones stop working, you can get parts for them. These were designed to be fixed in the field, and it most certainly was the other day at the show. Didn't take me too long at all, and a few people were watching me and helping me. Part of the character of them. It's nice to be able to fix them. I had a few tools with me anyway. And she charged all the way home, but just wasn't happy with the heat. That's all I will say. It was getting way too hot. And I think what happened was the other dyno really did just wear this belt a bit, got it just that little bit too narrow. And that's when it just decided to start slipping, because it started screeching then when I came home. And it's never done that, so it is a wearing part, I suppose. I never ordered proper one. I only just went to my local bearing supplies place that does these, and I basically just went in with the belt I had and I said, can I just get one of them 2 inches short, whereas I should have ordered the right one. So there we are now. So we'll bring this up to the bench and we'll just whip off the pulley off of it. If I'm not mistaken, it's the other one is 11/16. This one could be a 19, is it? Yeah, I didn't tighten it too much. So that's okay. So that's that. Try not to lose the keyway. And then we can throw up our Lucas one. I keep the keyway for this in here. Stop it. In case it falls out of the slot, I'll work out which one's the right one. The right one should slot in fairly handy. That's just a little bit too tight, but we have a lot in here. It's in here somewhere, so yeah, that could be made work if we wanted it to work. And that's the right one there. So, on with our pulley. I'm trying to remember, did I put I did. I put one of these behind it, didn't I, to space it forward a little bit, because this pulley is just a little bit, let's say, it's not pushed forward enough, so I think we put one of them on it there. Okay, there we go. With that, and I think I have enough thread there for a spring washer. Always a good idea with the likes of these. So, and then this one is your 11/16, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, there we go. Be careful here with the threads. It's the only problem with spring washer. Don't want to go put it. I think I had to retread this anyway. This spring washer is fairly thick, so just make sure it's tapped in enough. Don't want to go pulling threads. So I'll tell you what we'll do, we'll just drag over our standard washers. Considering this is just going to be testing, we're only in the testing phase, I'll just put on a standard washer. The problem with the spring washers is because they're not straight, your nut then can be a little bit off center and it'll go on the wrong thread. So we'll just try and play it safe here. I think that spring washer is way too thick anyway. If I had a narrower one, I think I'd be happier. So we have a new fan belt here, so I'm just going to take off the old one and we're going to just have a look at these two together. So there's the new one, there's the old one. I think it's fair to say we all like simple problems. We like when there's a simple problem. So this is in millimeters. That's coming in there without squeezing it too much. I'd say you're talking about 14 then. And this lad here is coming in about, it's in about 19. I think it's meant to be 17 if I'm not mistaken. For 18 is what's written on it. And this should go down into the pulley a lot better. Sorry, it shouldn't go down to the pulley as much. If we look at it there, we can see that it's 100% for the pulley. Like, so we look at this one here. That's what was happening. Literally polishing the pulley. It was slipping so much. If you look there, you'll see it polished. Whereas this one probably wouldn't even go in that far. So that's what I'm hoping. So this is probably going to be a bit more of a headache to fit than that, because what you have is you don't have the best of room in there, and more so down near the starter dog nut. That's what you call catching the camera before it makes absolute mess of itself. So what I might do is I might just open the little flap on it there. It's designed for changing your fan belt. That screwdriver's not right. Get that one. Let's let that off there. And I have a bit of rub behind that. That thing was rattling like crazy at one point. That should give us the room, a little bit more room to maneuver this into place. So the other one was fine, being a good bit narrower. So this is a damn sight thicker. This could be a little bit more. Oh, we'll get there. Whereas if we shouldn't have to go taking off radiators or anything like that. I'd say this fan is actually bent forward, I'd say. It's hitting the cowl, and that's another issue. Okay, we've got past one blade. Past two. Got past three. And four. Now, starter dog could be a bit of a disaster. It's a bit tight down there for space. That could be the next job. Try and poke that down with something. The shape of the dog nut isn't great. So I'm going to have a poke around at that, and I'm going to come back victorious. And I want to save you all the boring footage, and I'll hopefully win it without making a mess. Okay, so you twist it. That's what you do. You twist to the side, and then you can get it. Okay. So it'll be interesting to see now lengthwise how this goes, because of course the way it was before, the dynamo was just out too far here. So I have a feeling this is going to bring it right back in. It's definitely shorter belt. One bolt in. It's hard to see where that one's going. Oh, good enough. Yeah. There we go. So 2 bolts in. And now I'm going to have to be able to push this inwards to pull this out to meet it. So I'll put you out of the way, and hopefully this will go on. Might take off the dynamo actually, I think. Fit it, and then, if I'm not mistaken, it's like the gold belly. Take it off, angle it inwards. But one thing is looking good. This is going to be, dynamo's going to be way inwards, and that's what we're going to want. So I'd say, remember that's what I had to do in the gold belly. It was a bit of a whole handling now. Trying to line up your bolts afterwards. Get the tension of the belt on it. But interesting to see, this dynamo will actually then work because it stopped working. And, okay, so I have a feeling that's what we're going to have to do. Take out both bolts, angle inwards, angle inwards. Try and get this on there. We're all on around the crank pulley. Say it with a bit of mess and we probably won't get it on. Come on, you're nearly there. It's not the kind of thing you want to go greasing either, like, to help it. That's only going to add to the problem. Okay, so it looks like we're going to have to go and do some, get this in a little bit more closer, so take out that bolt. Now, that's another little millimetre or two in it. Or, I'm trying to do it this way because I know it's going to make my life easier for putting in them bolts. But, it's not happening. So I think, just starting back, I think what we'll have to do is fit it on first. Jesus Christ, that's fucking tight. Excuse the French. The French are always cursing. This could be a little bit more awkward than we wanted. Of course, it won't take long for this to stretch. Shouldn't take long to stretch. It's just a bit stiff at the moment and it's not really happy. It's not happy bending and stuff like that. I'll probably do it being even a ½ inch longer, I'd say. Well, we'll get it. I think, geez, that is, oh yeah. I was going to say it's jammed in towards the block. And it'll all have to come off again. Anyway, we're happy with it because I will paint it the same colour as the track. This was more just a bit of an undercoat I had lying around, because I knew I'd be messing with it. Okay, so we'll have to get a screwdriver at that. Give it a prise up. Yeah. So it's awkward enough now. That seems to be fair tension on it now as well. Well, we're getting that bolt in. Front one could be fun. It's going to be hard to prise. It could be hard to prise it into place. We'll have to get a bit of movement into it anyway. Problem with the front one, of course, is just cannot see where the hole is. But we will win it. We've had to win worse things. Harder things. Just trying to see where the thing is. So we need to come down a bit. There we go. And in the end, it just flies in. That's we should have another move on. I think I hear something falling and they're over here, I think. Okay, we'll probably the washer for that then. Went walkies, I think, so we'll bring over a washer, throw it on that. We'll find it again. Don't have to be too fussy. That's the right size. No, it's a bit bigger. Throw spring washer on it to crack. Try and thread it through a little bit. Okay, just going to literally put the nut on hand tight there because of course that's for the other side. I think. Yeah, that's your UNF, I think. Yeah, that's a lock nut over there. Okay, so they're on hand tight. So that means that we should be able to work on our adjustments now and see what's going on. Oh yeah, this is going to be a lot neater. In fact, that adjuster now is could do it even being shorter, which is brilliant. Definitely a lot neater looking when it's not sticking out so far. So it'll be interesting to see, will this charge? Oh, I didn't lose my extra washer, it was just there. So that's okay. So what I'm going to do, because I know that's going to definitely need a bit of attention being new, I'll just shove a cloth down in behind it here. We'll get a small nail bar. Not the big one. Try and shove that down to get a bit of leverage on it. And then we'll get this lad on here ready to tighten. Get it nipped up a bit. A little bit more. Get the greatest grip on it there, is there? No, go for a bigger nail bar. See, it's like using a hammer. Try and use the small one first. Just to get a grip on something there. We're fairly on the block. There we go. There we go. Of course, it's turning. See if it catches something there. Obliges. Strange, no, it actually does come out a bit when you start tightening it. Lovely. Okay, still looks nice and neat. It's fairly far in. I'm simply going to put this back on because I will lose it if I don't. It only takes 2 seconds. And all going well, won't need to take off that. That belt shouldn't have to come off now. It looks like it fits good anyway. Okay, so hitch up our dynamo again, field coil and dynamo. Right, so everything going well. We won't hear a crazy amount of rattling. I'm just going to tighten the 2 1/2-inch bolts underneath it because I just remembered now, so I'll give them a quick little nip. It doesn't have to be crazy tight, just so that we're not just in case it starts rattling around a bit and we think that there's something wrong somewhere else. Okay, so what we'll do is bring it back out of the way, we'll give it another little start, and we'll see if that thing is working. How are we for alignment? Definitely flicking off a few bits and pieces here and there. Needs to come more further forward, I think. A little bit too far back. That's no problem, we can do that. Too big a belt to have it misaligned. So you see now, so she's not charging. There was damage done to that dynamo. So after all that work, it's a waste of time. But it doesn't matter. We had to try it. So I don't mind. I'll put on the other one now and I'll come back when it's on. I'm just going to spend a bit more time trying to do the alignment on the belt, get it nicely aligned, and that should be us. The other dynamo's back on. So I will have another video looking at the old original Lucas dynamo. I'll pull that asunder again and see what's happening. Could be just I'd say heat damage, probably melted one of the solder connections on the commutator, because when I took off the old one and I put my hand on this pulley, and you've seen yourself, it wasn't running for very long, there was a lot of heat in it. So that is after getting lined up a good bit better there now. I think you can nearly see it there, it's not too bad. I probably could do coming a touch more forward. So I haven't tightened up the bolts down here too much, so I'm just going to do that there now, just before I start it, just to make sure that you know, we're giving it the best chance. Even if I just get a nip on them there, it'll be enough. Just stop them rattling around too much. That'll do just for testing it. So we'll just see, is it charging? Well, we'll look and see how is it lining up first. The last one was throwing a lot of stuff off it. That wasn't a good sign. That doesn't look too bad. That's test number one. So it is charging. I'm not surprised at that though, because it was always charging. So I'll just leave it running for a few minutes, turn it off, and I just want to make sure there's not massive heat going into that pulley. Because if there is, it'll go down there, and it'll melt one of them solder joints, and it'll be end of story. But on the plus side as well, there's a lot of adjustment here as well, so that's good. And I'm sure I will have to adjust it soon, but I'm happy with that.